Ugh, this guy. So, Mojo is a really weird villain to talk about, given his role as a crazed TV executive from another universe. It makes it hard to take him seriously. But under his gross exterior is, well, a pretty terrifying villain in all honesty. Even if it isn't always for the reasons you might expect. So, let's start counting down the top 10 scary facts about Mojo. Number 10. The creation of Spiral. So, a little background information. Mojo, before becoming an X-Men villain, was initially the enemy of Longshot, a humanoid slave stuntman from the Mojoverse where Mojo originates from. Longshot led a rebellion against Mojo's race, who were known as the Spineless Ones, and escaped to Earth. While there, he met a human stunt woman named Rita Ricochet, who would go with him to the Mojoverse to help rescue the other slaves. However, their mission failed and they were captured. In an alternate future, Rita was transformed by Mojo into the warrior mage Spiral. This transformation included 6 arms, turning her hair gray, and forcibly evolving her mind so that she could see into other dimensions that were used for time travel and teleportation. All of this which basically drove her insane. Jeez, nothing like body horror to send shivers down your spine. Although Mojo doesn't have one, so probably doesn't faze him. Number 9. He's a TV executive. Have you ever met a TV executive? Don't, they're awful. You will never have a worse conversation than you will with someone who worked in television. And Mojo is the literal embodiment of all of their worst characteristics. Obsession with ratings, overbearing control over their performers. Mojo is literally the perfect parody of a TV executive, which makes sense since Mojo has been treated more like a comic relief villain than anything else. Although, the X-Men Black run of the character in Mojo number 1 tried to humanize the character a bit more and make him more relatable, and despite the strangeness of the character, at least made it possible to appreciate him just a little bit more. Which is about as good as it's gonna get for Mojo. Number 8. He made the Howard the Duck movie. Yeah, so you know that Howard the Duck movie from 1986? The one that no one likes and is notorious for some, adult duck content? Editor, don't Google that, trust me. Yeah, well, as it turns out, we can blame Mojo for that. Apparently in the 2016 Howard the Duck run, Mojo used Howard's adventures in the film to create a reality show for his home universe, the Mojoverse. The duck character in the film was actually an alien in a duck costume who was used to fill in the gaps. So apparently Mojo is even affecting our world and giving us terrible movies. Ugh. This guy has no redeeming qualities. Number 7. His entire appearance. Everything about Mojo is horrifying. Like, he looks like someone took Shodan, Blanca from Street Fighter, the Mechanical Spider from Wild Wild West, ripped out their spines, and put them in a never-ending state of torture. Like, just look at how his eyes are held open. That's horrifying. Just imagine waking up and this guy is looking at you with his unblinking eyes and poking you with his crazy long fingers. Nightmare fuel. So, the sooner I could stop looking at pictures of him, the better. Number 6. He's immune to Rogue, but also, thank God? Mojo is among the few beings incapable of being harmed by Rogue's touch, having once bear-hugged Rogue until knocking her unconscious. Which at first might seem like the scary fact, but the real scare would be if Rogue could take his powers. The last thing I ever want to see is Rogue becoming obsessed with ratings and who's watching her, and oh god, she'd be an Instagram star. And it'd work too. Number 5. Mind control. Mojo has the power of mind control, which I think we know by now in the X-Men universe is an absolutely horrifying power to try to contend with. And given Mojo's propensity for using people for entertainment, anyone who proves to give him good ratings is going to be stuck with him for a while. Not to mention the power boost he gains from those ratings. Yeesh, it's just an endless cycle with him. Number 4. The anti-life field. This is probably the most noteworthy power Mojo has. He's able to generate what is called an anti-life field, which makes his touch able to cause humans to rapidly age and plants to wither. And as if that wasn't bad enough, Dr. Strange even believes that his prolonged presence on Earth could cause storms and other natural disasters. So that's one more incentive to get this disgusting mess as far away from Earth as possible. Number 3. He's always watching. Imagine that at every moment of every day, a grotesque, thoughtless monster is watching every single thing you do. And not only is he using you for his own entertainment, but that an entire world is seeing the events of your life, broadcast by this very same monster. That is Mojo. It's horrifying enough to think about security cameras watching everything we do, but a spineless nightmare creature? That's too much. Number 2. The better his ratings, the stronger his magic. So, Mojo has a few magical powers, including magical energy blast, controlling the minds of others, and interdimensional teleportation. However, these powers are enhanced by the popularity of the TV programs he creates, as they are seen as him being worshipped by his followers. Which means, anytime he finds something that works, he's going to exploit it for everything it's worth. Jeez, hope this guy never finds out about Netflix or we're all screwed. Number 1. He and Beautiful Joe share a broadcaster? I have to call in the ethical decisions of Beautiful Joe and Captain Blue. Given in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, both are shown to be working under Mojo and Spiral, who are directing their police procedural show. I have to hope that given Mojo's usual MO, he's using some kind of mind control to keep Joe on his payroll, because otherwise, I gotta say, I'm disappointed in you, Joe. And those are our top 10 scary facts about Mojo. Kind of fitting that a villain with a comedic gimmick has a goofy list. Anyway, what other villains scare you guys? Or is there a comic relief villain you like more than the scary ones? Let us know down in the comments. Have a good one.